What's going on, guys? Crush back here with another video. Hope everyone's had a good day today. I know I have. And I got a great video for you guys today, and I hope you all enjoy. And let's get right into it. So, unlike most of my story times, which take place usually in high school to college to right about now, this one's actually pretty old. This one takes place all the way back in the 8th grade in middle school, which is pretty crazy looking back, honestly, because that was 8 years ago. Man, time really does fly. But anyway, I think most people can relate to when you're in the lunchroom, there's usually always like this one obnoxious table. Well, okay, it's not usually one, it's usually like half the cafeteria, but there's quite a few lunch tables in the cafeteria that are usually obnoxious. They have like a lot of people that are usually troublemaking kids that have like a lot of energy, that throw food. They might like yell random stuff at you when you're walking by, and they kind of don't keep to themselves for the most part, which honestly, again, it's middle school, understandable. We're all kids here. Like, anything you do as a kid, it's stupid, but again, you have the excuse for being a kid, so it's whatever, you know. Now, the table I sat at, it was just me and a few of my friends at one table, along with like a few other people that would keep to themselves at the other end of our table. We wouldn't bother them. But unfortunately, right next to us, there was this large table literally filled to the brim of these. They weren't even like funny kids. They were just like those annoying they were just annoying ass kids for the most part. And there was a whole table filled with them. And most people didn't like them. They were just like annoying and shit, which again, middle school, not that surprising. And usually they wouldn't do too much to us. They would just be like loud, and we usually couldn't hear like each other over them. But again, it's a cafeteria, so like what the fuck do you expect, you know? But the most they would do for the most part was maybe throw like a piece of bread at us or something, like a little piece, just to like maybe get a slight reaction. Then we'd be like, haha, funny, you really got it. Or maybe they do the old tap your right shoulder, then be on the left of you, walk away. You look on your right and realize, hey, there's nobody there. And then you'd realize, oh, I just got pranked very lightheartedly, you know? It's actually been a while since anyone's actually done that to me. Kind of miss it a little bit. Anyway, to give a little bit backstory before this one incident took place involving my table and the other table that liked to cause trouble with us. My one friend, he's one of my good friends to this day, and he's not stupid. He's actually pretty smart, I would say. But unfortunately in middle school, he would make a lot of very poor decisions. One of the most poor decisions he would make, which, to be honest, there's probably a lot of people that have done this, I've done this once or twice, is he had a very bad addiction to video games at the time. And even if he was here right now, because he'll probably listen to this, he'll agree with me. He's told me countless times he had a problem with video games, specifically like Call of Duty. I'm pretty sure it was like Modern Warfare 2 or 3 that came out around the time we were in 8th grade. But he would stay up almost all night playing that shit and just having a blast on Xbox Live. Which, it sounds fun, don't get it twisted. But like, when you have to come in with like at most like 2 to 3 hours of sleep for a whole 6 to 8 hour school day, that's not fun. That sucks, honestly. And to make it even worse, like, he wouldn't even bring like a luncheon or anything like that. He would just like try and power through the whole day and then go home and I guess eat a lot of food or whatever, you know. It's actually funny because with this dude, he normally would not bring anything. He maybe would bring like a water bottle sometimes, like a few times a week, but whenever he would bring food, it would be like the most lit time. I'm sure everyone remembers that whenever you would bring like gum into a school, everyone would just start kissing your ass and pretty much being annoying as hell when you would like show off that you had gum. Or not even show off that you had gum, just like people found out you had gum, that they would be like, yo, let me have a piece of that. Yo, pass it over here, man. And sadly, I was at the time the type of person that didn't really like to say no to people. I would always give them a piece, and looking back at it now, I should have been like, you want a piece of gum? Alright, give me $1, bitch. Especially because like a lot of the people that would ask, I didn't even like that much. But again, I didn't like causing trouble, and I didn't like saying no, so I would just do that. But with this dude though, if you think that's insane, imagine bringing McDonald's to school and KFC. oh my god, there would be like tables of people that would just surround him being like, yo, please, can I have a wing? Can I have like a piece of chicken? Can I have like a piece of fries, or like a piece of whatever the fries are called? The wedges, that's what the fries are called. They'd be like, yo, can I have a wedge, please? Like, come on, man, I've always been nice to you, or whatever. And my god, it's like Justin Bieber showing up to a 13-year-old's birthday party. Everyone just wants to kiss ass, honestly. But anyway, today was one of those days. He got like little to no sleep. He wasn't feeling himself. I could tell, and me and my friends could tell. He just came into the lunchroom, and he just put his head down and put his arms around his head and just tried to go to sleep. And we all knew what was up, and we just left him alone. We just decided, yo, let's just leave him alone, and let's just talk and just have a chill lunch, you know, 30-minute break from doing work. Let's just try and enjoy it as much as we can. Unfortunately today, it would be quite the opposite of chill. It would be chaos and war for the most part. Because what happened was the table that like causing trouble decided, you know what, let's step our game up and let's see what we can do to really piss these guys off. So what they decided to do was, within like the first 5 minutes of lunch, everyone's like getting set up, everyone's still coming in on all that, and everyone's just like chilling, finding their seats, getting food. And after my whole table sat down, like the table next to us, who has a lot more people, they're getting situated as well. And then when the leader or one of the leaders of the table was walking by, he sees my friend just laying down there, or not laying down, but like having his head down and just like trying to get some Z's, And he's like, alright, you know what, let's try and mess with them a little bit. And at first he's trying a few things that were unsuccessful. He tries to do that like shoulder tap game that I mentioned earlier, and my friend was so out of it, he probably either felt it and just didn't care, or he didn't feel it at all because he was that tired. And the kid, he wasn't very happy for not getting a reaction, so he was stepping his game up slowly but surely. So after the kid sits down, he's like talking to his goon. He's trying to figure out like a way to wake my friend up just to mess with him and piss him off and be a dickhead. And he starts throwing like little, like, I guess croutons at him, or like bits of bread, just little stuff for the most part. And that's not doing anything. My friend, I'm pretty sure he doesn't even feel that, because they're like little pieces of food, and he's really that tired, And when you're that tired, you just straight up fall asleep and you don't give a shit about anything. But eventually the kid did get my friend to get up and wake up pretty quick after he threw half an apple at him. And I can't remember if it hit him on the hard side or if it hit him on like the wet side, where it leaves like wet marks on your shirt and you can feel like the little juices from the apple into your clothes. But I'm guessing that's what happened, because he threw the apple and then it hit my friend, then fell on the floor. And then my friend jolted up all of a sudden. He jolted up. He's like, what just happened? And me and my friends didn't see it, actually, because we were like talking about something. And me and my friends are just like messing with him a little. We're like, hey, welcome back to the living. Yo, you ready to talk with us? You've been sleeping all day or sleeping all lunch or whatever. We're just like we're just joking around a little bit with them, And then my friends were like, yo, what? And then my friend who woke up, he's just like, what the fuck was that hit me? And then he looks down on the ground and he sees a fucking apple. And then he looks at the table that threw it at him. And he actually I'm pretty sure he looks at the guy who threw it too, but he wasn't sure who did it. He just was looking at that table. And then after he started looking around, those guys didn't even bother to try and hide the fact that they were the ones that threw it at him. And they just start laughing and cracking up. And I think one of them even points at him. And normally my friend doesn't do anything because he's had food thrown at him by those people before, but he normally ignores it. But everyone knows that when you're tired, you may not make the best decisions. You're not in like the best headspace. You're really cranky, really cranky, and it's pretty easy to piss you off. At least this is for me in my case and his case, because since he was like cranky and had no sleep, he was not trying to deal with any of their shit. And I don't think he meant to do this, but like since he was so angry, he let the anger get a hold of him, and he probably had like a little Palpatine whispering in his ear. He's like, yes, use your anger. And after I guess he was dwelling on the thought of what to do, he just turns back and yells at him, yo, can you guys stop being assholes for one fucking day and just leave me alone and all that? And they weren't too happy they said that. They were just like, hey, what'd you just say? I know you didn't just say what I think you said. And they weren't talking like that. They were talking like however middle schoolers talked. I can't remember what they said, but it was something along the lines of that. And they're just like, say that again, you won't. And our whole table at this point was just getting annoyed with these kids. And then my one friend, he decided to chime in because like he's getting very annoyed with these kids too. He's just like, can you guys just leave him and us alone? Like, he didn't do anything to you, and you guys started this. And he's just trying to get some sleep because he's tired. Can you guys just mind your own business and fuck off? And he said something like that. And they did not take that very well. And they didn't do anything, but they were pretty much just like, oh, okay, that's what you're saying? Okay, I see what you're doing. Okay. And they leave us alone for a couple more minutes because I think they were just trying to get our guard down, which slightly worked because we were still watching them and we are like aware that they were probably planning something, but we weren't suspecting like anything crazy to go down. And then when my one friend who told those guys to fuck off, he gets up to throw like his food away, and when he was about to sit down, he just gets pelted with like a roll of bread. And if you don't know what I mean, if you take a regular piece of bread and you make it into like a ball, it's a lot easier to throw. And you can pretty accurately hit your target versus if you were to like throw it like a frisbee, you know? And he gets hit with the bread and he's just like, yo, what the fuck? And he saw who did it too. It was like one of the Goonies that threw it. He's just like, what is your problem? Leave us alone. And what the Goonie or one of the Goonies was just like, you guys shouldn't talk shit to us. You guys should know your place. Or something like that. They thought they were better than us because they had numbers, which I'm gonna keep it a buck. Like, they may have had numbers on us, but I can guarantee like they had like no muscle. They wouldn't do anything. It's not like we're dealing with like some big old crip or something like that that's gonna like kill us if we do something to him, you know. And then after that happens, my one friend just gets really fucking annoyed, the one that got hit with the piece of bread. And he takes half of his bologna sandwich and he like rips it. He like, you know how there's layers in a bologna sandwich? He like takes the layers out and just starts chucking at those guys out of anger. He just lost his shit at that point. He just starts throwing at multiple people. He even hit a few people that had nothing to do with it, but they probably knew. So they probably weren't like not guilty and not innocent, you know what I mean? And when those guys got hit, all I know next was pretty much the best way I can describe what happened was like the snowball fight between SpongeBob and Patrick in that one Snow Christmas episode. Basically what happened was like, since those guys got hit and since multiple people were definitely involved now, they were throwing food at us. I got hit, my other friends got hit, the guy who's sleeping got hit and woke up and just got pissed off again. And the people who had food were fighting back, throwing food at them. And it wasn't anything too big, but like eventually like I was getting mad too. I was just taking my whole lunch. Like I only ate like a quarter of it. I was just using it as ammunition at this point because I was so fucking fed up with these guys. And this wasn't just because of one day of their bullshit. It was like built up anger over time, you know? And I was throwing like goldfish at them, pretzels at them, and it was like a bunch of small stuff, but like, and I'm not gonna lie, if I wasn't being hit with some nasty ass shit like a peanut butter jelly sandwich, which hit my pants, well, thank God it didn't hit my shirt, but if I got hit by that shit, it was pretty nasty, you know? Besides that, it wasn't actually too bad. Like, I was having fun, like, expressing some anger in like, not the worst way, I guess, but not the best way. And then eventually we're running out of ammunition because let's be real, there's like 20 plus of those kids against like 5 kids at this one table. Like obviously the odds are not in our favor, but when we're running low and all that and we're not really firing back and they're still throwing shit at us, the one friend who was sleeping brought a water bottle in that day because he wanted to at least stay hydrated, and he probably drank like just a little bit of it, and he was getting pelted and he was just like trying to duck and just not get hit with it, even though he was kind of in the front line. Just imagine that, a soldier in the front line without any ammo. That's pretty much what my friend who was sleeping, that's pretty much where he was, you know. But he gets mad because, and rightfully so mad, because he's taking all these shots that are meant to be, not just meant for him, but like for us too. And he eventually decides to take it to the next level. About 20 seconds after like all the food is being thrown, he just uses his water bottle, and you know how like people use a sword and like try and slash people with it? He like takes his water bottle and opens it up, and like he like swings his water bottle in like a vertical angle. It like he's holding a sword, you know? And the water goes on like half of these kids like shirts and like at least 10 of these guys got hit with the water, and they were rightfully so pissed off, because let's be real, nobody wants to be like sprayed with liquid. Food, you can just kind of like rub it off depending on what it is, but water or like Gatorade, that stays on you. And eventually, after that happened, my friend that was throwing stuff away that got hit, that kind of started like the big brawl in a way. He had a Gatorade bottle, and he started pouring Gatorade on these kids too. And these kids were getting so fucking mad. They were getting so fucking angry at us. And eventually, unfortunately for us, they were getting their drinks out too and starting to spray us. And luckily for me, I had 3 friends in front of me. They were taking most of like the shots that were being sprayed at us, like the water, Gatorade, fruit punch, shit like that. So I've pretty much avoided like 80%, 75 to 80% of like the liquid being sprayed on me. I still got some on me, don't get me wrong, but there was quite a bit that was being sprayed on me, you know. This didn't last too long though, because as I said, my friend got like the water bottle and started spraying people at about like 20 to 30 second mark, and the whole food fight only lasted for like a minute, but there was just so much going on in that minute. But after my friend like sprayed them, the administrators and teachers started to like see what was going on and started to interfere. We would have been drenched so much harder if those teachers did not come in, because like right when like the enemy table was like getting their drinks on, starting to spray us, like the teachers started to interfere. They were like blocking us. They're just like, guys, stop right now, stop, you're making a huge mess. This is not what you're supposed to do. Stop it right now, or all of you will get in huge trouble, or something like that. I don't remember what they said. And then it's funny because the kid who like started the whole thing, he was like mad because he was one of the people that really got sprayed with my friend's water bottle. And right when one of these teachers was like breaking it up and really stopping the whole food fight from going down, he decided, you know what, nah, I want to get the last word in, or in this case, the last bagel in. And he throws like about, I'd say, a quarter of a bagel at my friend who was sleeping, because he was really pissed off because he got poured so hard, because my friend got him so good with the water bottle. And when you're angry, sometimes you don't like think everything through like this kid did. And in this case, he did not have the best aim. So this kid takes the bagel and he tries to throw it at my friend, but instead he completely misses somehow, which I don't know how you can miss that throw. And he hits one of the administrators in the chest with it. And the administrator straight up saw what happened, and she's just like, Colin, you just threw a piece of bagel at me. What are you doing? I told everyone to stop. Not only did you not listen to me, but you threw a piece of bagel at me. Or something like that. You know, not quite like that, but it was pretty much what they said. And then after this happened, the administrators and the teachers, they wanted to know like who started all this and like who was involved. And man, this kid's table is so unloyal. They straight up ratted on him, because after they were like, whoever did this is going to get in huge trouble, suspended, we're going to call their parents and all that. Like in middle school, like a lot of those kids, and including me, we didn't want like a phone call to our parents, because that was an ass whooping when we got home, you know. Like that was not what any of us were feeling. And everyone on that everyone at that table literally just ratted this kid out. They're like, he started all this, we only did it because he was doing it and all that stuff. And then this kid, since he got ratted on, he feels he should be a rat too. So he's just like, I wouldn't have done it if he didn't start it all by throwing a piece of food at us. And then the teacher looks at him, he's just like, is what he's saying true? He's just like, well, some of it's true. I did yell at him and I did cuss him out, and I said some stuff I probably shouldn't have said, but he started everything by like constantly annoying me, throwing food at me and touching me, and I only reacted the way I reacted because he would not stop. And my friend took the blame for everyone at my table, which was super cool, because like none of us ended up going to the office except him. He and the Colin kid who started everything, they went to the office, and I think they got sent home early, and that's pretty much it. They didn't like get suspended. Unfortunately for everyone else though, the whole cafeteria ended up getting assigned seats, which this wouldn't be the first time, so we were kind of used to it. And we would get it for a lot more stupid reasons than that, but still, everyone gets mad at people that like give the whole cafeteria assigned seats, and it is pretty unfair, because why are you punishing the whole cafeteria when it's like 25 kids or 25 to 30 kids out of like the 300 kids in this grade that started this incident, you know? I guess the lesson to be learned from this is like, just leave people alone for the most part, mind your own business, because if that kid just would mind his own business and leave us alone, like none of this would have happened, you know? But I mean, if someone is like harassing you, I mean, I guess there are worse ways of dealing with it than like cussing them out or like throwing food at them. You could have gotten into a huge fight or something like that, which would be way worse. So I don't know. I feel like the story time was kind of funny though, you know. Anyway, if you guys enjoyed the story time, make sure to give me a like. It really helps the channel out, and consider subscribing if you like my content. I always put a lot of work into it. And yeah, I'll see you guys all later. Take care. You know what, just get this over with. I know something's gonna happen. Just, let's get it over with already. I can't do it. I can't take this no more. What is this ugly thing? You're nasty too. All of you are nasty.